This is the Rocky Mountain Dragon Atiba, and you're listening to RMP Radio.
RMP Radio is back on the air. Hi, I am your host, Mr. Fourth Row, and joining me on this wild edition of RMP Radio, I got the Encyclopedia of RMP, Lucas Bradwell. Lucas, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. We are here for the first pay-per-view of 2024. It's been one of our now signature events for the last, I believe this is the fourth year of Aces Wild, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds about right, yeah, because it took over for New Year's Revolution, right?
Yeah, so I believe we started it in 2020, right before COVID hit, and we've been doing it ever since, every January. So this will be the fourth year.
Yeah, speaking of that, what an auspicious start for Aces Wild to be the year of 2020 for it to, to be the first one. I remember it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy. So, we are gonna hear the people with the preview of the upcoming pay-per-view. It's at the time of this recording, it's less than 24 hours away, so people should be excited about that. Let's first of all speaking of wild, tickets are going wild and crazy for this. So, listeners, if you don't have tickets yet, get online, get those tickets. If it does say sold out, just head on down to the Wimmer Arena. We'll find a seat for you, right?
Yeah, it is. We will have extra seating, even if all of our custom seats, if they're already filled up, we have more seats. We'll get them out there. We want to pack the Wimmer Arena, so come on down. Even if you can't get them online, we'll make sure you will get to see Aces Wild. You come on down to the Wimmer.
Yeah. So let's hit it. Let's get into the card. What we know, what we don't know, what we're gonna speculate for Aces Wild. Let's start off with the ladies. Let the ladies go first here. We got the Lockett's Championship. The current champion Lilith Grimm taking on Lola for the title. What this is crazy. I mean, what do you have to say about this all coming together?
Lilith's been on a rampage, has she not? I mean, she has been running roughshod. A lot of frustration. She's been wanting to get her hands on Noelle, who's not even in this match, but she's wanted to get her hands on Noelle, get a little measure of revenge for something that's been going on for a long time. And of course, Lola has kind of gotten herself into the mix once again. Lola's been getting a lot of opportunities, it seems like, at this Lockett's title, getting another opportunity. And I think Lilith's just about tired of that as well. Lilith is wanting to put an end to Lola having any more opportunities. Lola has been, I think, getting a little bit under the skin and in the head of Lilith with we saw that puppet show a few weeks ago, and I don't think Lilith took too kindly to that. And this is a long-standing rivalry. These two Lockettes both came into Rocky Mountain Pro about the same time, in 2019, they both kind of had made their Rocky Mountain Pro debuts, and really they've been the two constants. Even we've had a lot of upheaval in the Lockettes division, but those have been the two constants over the past four or 5 years. So this rivalry now is finally, I think this is going to be the culmination of Lola and Lilith, at least for the Lockettes title. I just don't see Lola getting another opportunity if she's not able to get the best of Lilith this time around, because we've seen this, and I just don't see, especially when you've got younger Lockettes that are looking to get their opportunities, and I know that there's going to be more Lockettes coming in the fray from the Al Snow Wrestling Academy. This might be Lola's last opportunity to really get her hands on that Lockettes title, at least for a long time. So this should be a tremendous matchup. I think it's going to be probably the most physical matchup that we've had between these two, because Lilith she has been a little bit, I'd almost say psychotic, just the way she's been going after the Lockettes division. And Lola, what we've seen too, Mr. Fourth Row, we've seen her kind of take some shortcuts, get in that bag of tricks, both literally and figuratively. That in that backpack, we've seen everything from that. What we see, a taser, and we've seen some other objects being pulled out that she's used. So she is willing to do anything as well. This could be the most physical matchup between these two.
Yeah, and you mentioned all the Lockettes that are in Rocky Mountain Pro and upcoming from the Al Snow Wrestling Academy, Rocky Mountain. But we also the puppet show, you mentioned Noelle. So Noelle is probably going to have eyes on this match. Former champion Adrian Mascara is probably going to have eyes on this match too, to see what comes of this as well. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. This match will go a long way to kind of deciding what the future is going to look like in the Lockettes division, because we're definitely not finished with the Noelle Lilith saga. We know that. We know that somewhere down the line, those two are going to collide, whether it's for the Lockettes title or not. I think it would mean a lot more to Noelle if Lilith was able to keep her title, and then Noelle maybe go for that Lockettes title. Adrian Mascara, remember, she lost her Lockettes title to Lilith. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she might be wanting to get a little measure of revenge. So there's going to be a lot of interest in this matchup.
True. Do you think you could pick a winner on this? Because I don't know if I can.
Yeah. Lilith has been, like I said, running roughshod, but a little bit out of her mind at times. And I'm wondering if that is going to be what may cost her this matchup. She may get a little overzealous. It may end up costing her Lockettes title. Lola seems to be very cagey and wily, even more and more that we see her in the ring. She seems to be just picking up more and more habits that she might have learned from J.K. Pop with hanging out with those guys. I'm going with Lola winning her first ever Lockettes title at Aces Wild.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to agree with you, because I was going to add when you were talking, I'm thinking that there's going to be an opportunity in this match, and it's going to be too juicy, too good of an opportunity for Lola not to take advantage of it, and I think she might pull out this victory. All right, so from there, we have another championship match, and that is the NRW Championship. We saw this past week a ladder match to decide who would be the number one contender to take on the champion Jason Knoll for the championship. That was Zamore. We had some other things that happened on this. Do you want to expand on that? Let the listeners know.
Let's.
If they mischarge, I don't know why, but
if you're gonna find out, we get the elephant is in the room. We had the return of Dustin Urich, the longest reigning Rocky Mountain Pro champion of all time, came back to exact some revenge in this ladder match on Damon Ace. He was dressed as a cameraman, the whole time during Charge. It was Dustin Urich, and he finally waited for his opportunity. It's been 2 years, almost to the day, You think about it. It was 2 years ago, right around this time, the day after Aces Wild in 2022,
Yeah.
that that Dustin Urich lost his Rocky Mountain Pro Championship to Bruce Waynes at Aces Wild that year, and then the very next night on Charged, Damon Ace absolutely destroyed Dustin Urich. He, kill shots onto a chair multiple times, and it looked like Dustin Urich's career was done. From what I was understanding, Dustin Urich was never going to be able to return to wrestling, and that looks like we have Dustin Urich back here at Rocky Mountain Pro, looking to do to Damon Ace what Damon Ace did to Dustin Urich.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that Zamore was the beneficiary to that problem, to what happened 2 years ago. Zamore now is your number one contender for the NRW Championship. Now that ladder match, let's talk about that ladder match really quick. Those are three of the largest competitors that we've ever had in Rocky Mountain Pro. Each one of those guys are nearly 300 pounds. And to have a ladder match with guys that size and with just what they're capable of doing to each other, and it was everything that we thought it would be. They were slamming each other onto the ladders, using the ladders as weapons, and getting up in the air and climbing up that ladder and jumping off the ladder. It was amazing to watch. It was like a car crash and a plane crash all into one, and it was one of the most damnedest matches I think we've ever had on Charged. It's going to be one that I won't forget in a very, very long time. I just was amazed at what those three men were capable of. Got to give it up to Brew and Damon Ace. They both gave it their all, but Zamore was able to overcome everything. Got an assist from Dustin Urich, even though, I'm sure Dustin Urich wasn't there to help Zamore, but it definitely was a benefit to Zamore. Zamore capitalized, got that briefcase, signed the contract to face Jason Knoll. Jason Knoll was a little disappointed. You could tell he was on commentary, and it was a little disappointed. He wanted to get some revenge on Damon Ace. It seems like this is a common theme with a lot of people. Everyone wanted to get a measure of revenge against Damon Ace. Damon Ace is always seems to be getting someone pissed off. We thought for weeks that these kind of hidden messages with the congratulations signs and the lights going out. I don't know about you, Mr. Fourth Row, but I was under the suspicion that it was Sin Bodhi that was looking to play some mind games with Damon Ace. But it turns out, or at least we suspect, that it was Dustin Urich the whole time. So that's a completely different story going into this NRW Championship. So Damon Ace now is no longer in the mix for the NRW Championship. So that's got to be eating at him. But let's get to Zamore and Jason Knoll really quick. Zamore and Jason Knoll, these are two guys that are just about the same size. Jason Knoll a little bit taller, but as far as weight and strength, just about as evenly matched as you can get. Jason Knoll definitely has the experience advantage with nearly 20 years of experience in the ring. Zamore, little right around 6 or 7 years. So experience-wise, they're just about. It's going to be Jason Knoll with that advantage. Zamore a little bit more youth, just slightly more youth, which might help him. And this match, we don't even know what the stipulation is going to be because, as you know, that every NRW championship match has a special stipulation. So we still don't know what that's going to be. So there's going to be a lot of factors that are going to come into play in this matchup. I don't know where you're leaning to as far as who might come out on top. Jason Knoll has looked pretty good as the NRW champion. I just don't know that he can overcome just how great Zamora has been on a roll, whether it be in NRW matches or just regular wrestling matches. He's been pretty dominant against everyone he's faced. So I'm not sure where you're leaning to.
Well, and talk about Zamora as of late. He has had a lot of matches that is prepping him for this. Just 1 week. Actually, just a few days ago, this ladder match, the match with Curtis Cole, the RMP champion. So he's, okay, we can say, cliche these prep matches that have been helping him, but there's no match really in professional wrestling that's a prep match. But you gain experience every time you get into that ring, so that's going to help him. But also on the flip side, what I look at is this Jason Knoll's first championship in Rocky Mountain Pro, so he is not going to be very willing to want to let that thing go.
No, absolutely not. He's waited a long time to be a champion in Rocky Mountain Pro. It's something that means a lot to him. I know that. And yeah, he is going to do whatever it takes to keep that title. And this is going to be a classic battle of the big men. And in the end, my prediction is that Jason Knoll somehow, some way finds a way to defeat Zamora, however that is, whatever the stipulation is. I think he'll be up to the task, and he will walk out as the NRW champion.
Well, when it comes to the stipulation matches, I would love to see, because Aces Wild is, poker themed cards, poker chips, cheap plug, Aces Wild poker chips.
There you go.
Maybe something along that theme would be kind of fun. Something where you have to go all in, or make sure you're good on the flop. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we get a roulette wheel and they spin a roulette wheel to decide this stipulation.
Yeah, so you'd have no time to prep beyond finding out it right then when you're inside the ring, inside the ropes.
There you go.
Yeah. So, from there, we got not one, but two tournaments happening this year at the Aces Wild pay-per-view. The first is we have the tag team tournament, which, speaking of stipulations, what a wild stipulation this is. And here, a lot of pressure on JK Pop, Johnny Casanova, and Caden Koyama to win this thing, to be able to rejoin as a team in Rocky Mountain Pro. If they don't, then they can't. So what do you think about this tag team tournament that involves them? Plus, of course, we'll have some other participants in there as well that maybe you want to enlighten the listeners about.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get to the other competitors, but let me address the JK Pop situation. These two, once again, they just know how to get under the skin of certain people. They know what buttons to push. They know just where the soft spots are. And that's what they did with one Mercury Yaden. They got under his skin. They know that Mercury Yaden, reluctantly kind of took over the duties of Danger Dean when Danger Dean decided that he needed to step away from his presidential duties. And so Mercury Yaden, as being the owner of the company, decided that he would run things. And I think he's done a pretty good job, coming up with ideas to keep the competition here at Rocky Mountain Pro at a high level, with these tournaments and different opportunities for wrestlers to get championship shots. But what JK Pop did, and first of all, we got to go back about a month ago when Caden Koyama shocked everybody and brought Johnny Casanova back. Johnny Casanova had been out for several months. We hadn't seen him. I believe it was in September was the last time that we saw Johnny Casanova, and and we thought he was gone. We thought Caden Koyama was going on with his singles career. We thought he was going to concentrate on being a singles wrestler, and all of a sudden, back comes Casanova, and these two are trying to reverse what was supposed to be them never being able to be a tag team at Rocky Mountain Pro again. That was what was decided when they lost to La Isla a long time ago, and we thought we were done seeing JK Pop as a tag team. Then let's fast forward a few weeks, and now they've got Mercury Yaden backed into his office. They're getting under his skin, trying to weasel their way back as a tag team. And Mercury Yaden caves in, tells them that if they can win the whole damn tag team tournament, that is the only way that they can remain a tag team. If not, then they are done once and for all as a tag team here in Rocky Mountain Pro. That's pretty steep.
Yeah.
That's putting it all on the table there. We're talking about Aces as well. That's putting all your chips in there, and they've got to now win it all, and it's not going to be easy because I think that at first they probably thought they were getting an easy draw. They were having there was two young tag teams that don't have a ton of experience, so they probably on paper looked pretty easy to them. I'm talking about Jay Camacho and Queso, the tag team now that's going by the name The Reckless, and they're a very young tag team, only been teaming together for a couple months. They've both young men have only wrestled for a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the tag team of Smoke and Mirrors, Cushman and Diamond. Now they've been on a roll. Don't get me wrong. They haven't won matches, but they seem to be that team that is on the cusp of greatness. They really do. Every time we see them in the ring, they get a little bit better. And they just seem to be that team that is going to eventually click, and they're going to be a hard team to beat. That Smoke and Mirrors could be the wild card. But then we saw this past Tuesday on Charged, now that Brew is out of the NRW tournament, that it looks like now the Untitled are now in this tag team tournament as well. They are the dangerous team. They are the team that JK Pop is going to have most difficulty with, I believe, because this is a tag team that both men are very well versed in both tag team wrestling and singles action. A lot of experience between Echo and Brew. Echo's been doing this for a long time. Brew's, got nearly 5 years. So this is not going to be the easy road that JK Pop thought they were going to get at first. I think the Untitled really threw a monkey wrench into the plans of JK Pop. And as we're watching this tag team tournament, I think that we're going to have to really keep a close eye on the two other young tag teams I just mentioned, because I think all the eyes are going to be on JK Pop and the Untitled. If either one of those teams slip up and try to look ahead, they could get upset by either Smoke and Mirrors or the Reckless very easily. So this is going to be a much more competitive tag team tournament than I think a lot of people were thinking at first.
Yeah, and going back to the Untitled, a team that is working well together just as well as JK Pop does. So that's going to be like you said, something that J.K. Pop is going to have to keep an eye out. But don't look, we don't know what the matchups are going to be for the first round and how this is all going to play out. So we have to just only be able to speculate. And we may have other teams, but these are just the ones that are announced. I mean, it's Aces Wild. Things can get wild. Things get crazy. Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, somebody might want to put their name in the hat of being a tag team just to get a title shot. And one other thing I want to mention is, with JK Pop, they haven't teamed up for a long time. Even though, yes, they have many, many years of teaming up with one another, there could be a little rust with those two, where the Untitled and Camacho and Queso and Smoke and Mirrors, they've been doing it on a regular basis for the past several months. So that could play an advantage for those other teams against JK Pop. You can't be totally convinced that Caden Koyama is a little bit, I'd like to say, a little bit hesitant. I know he brought in Casanova, but you got to think he was on his way to really having a great singles run. It looked like he was getting some big wins. Could that be in the back of his brain that maybe he really wants to still be a singles wrestler? And could that play an effect on how well those two work as a tag team? Well, there's going to be a lot to look for in this tag team tournament. Right?
Yeah. Is Caden wanting to still be that Mister every night? Cheap plug there. For his shirt.
Yes.
I'd do my due diligence. So, do I get a little of the 10% of
Preston's? Yeah, you'll have to fight him for it, but yeah.
So there we go. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. It's I'm not going to ask you to pick who we could who could come out of this, because we just don't know how things are going to line up. But it's definitely going to be something fun that the fans should be excited for this tag team tournament. Yeah, especially since we've got two tournaments, Aces Wild on Friday.
Oh, absolutely. And that the tag team champions, Chapa City, they're going to be watching very closely. And so we're gonna find out a lot about what's going to happen in the next several months. Aces Wild is really going to kind of set the stones, pave the way for going in. I know it still looks like it's a long ways away, but Aces Wild kind of kicks off milestone.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a few stops, before milestone. Of course,
yes.
The next pay-per-view stop we got is Never Broken, right?
So that's right, in March. Yep.
And that's gonna, that should, after Aces Wild, because of these tournaments, if I can just go out on a limb and say it, that's gonna live up to the moniker who comes out of these tournaments.
Yes.
For that pay-per-view, that's gonna live up to the name of which team and which person comes out of these two tournaments.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah. So Aces Wild tournament. That's the big enchilada here. That's the pay-per-view. All the participants we do know are going to be former Charged champions. Few that we do know that are going to be in this. We have it's going to be featuring Remy D, the before mentioned Damon Ace, and everything what's going on with him. Who knows how well he's going to be able to perform in this. Briscoe Crown's going to be in it. Balaam's going to be in it. There's speculation maybe Sergey isn't going to be in it, because we've seen them trying to hunt him down, track him down, see what's going on with him. What else do you think could be going on with this Aces Wild tournament at the pay-per-view here?
Oh man, it's a lot of craziness is happening. We've seen this, what started out kind of as a friendly little rivalry between Briscoe Crown and Lobo Loco Balaam and Remy D. And as we've watched over the past several weeks, it's gotten more and more tense. And we've seen the interactions be a little less friendly than they were. And then what we saw just this past Tuesday, Briscoe Crown and Balaam kind of going at it in the back Remy D trying to kind of break things up. It's when you're going for such a big prize, and when you're going for the big prize, which is the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship, it kind of gets everybody on edge. It kind of that friendliness and that camaraderie that is back in the locker room, that kind of gets erased. You don't when you're a competitor, your friends, that friendship has to either be put on the back burner or it goes away completely, depending on just how things shape up in these matches. And we've been seeing this with these three, and then we've also been seeing Briscoe, showing some concern for Sergey, he's been trying to get a hold of Sergey, trying to see where his head's at, if he's been ready for this Aces Wild tournament, whether or not he's even going to compete in it. Even though he just held that charged title for less than a couple minutes, he still is a former charged champion. It's in the books.
Right. Yeah.
So he is eligible to be in this tournament. And then, with Damon Ace losing at the ladder match on charged, now he's put himself right in that Aces Wild tournament. Now that he's not able to get his hands on that NRW championship, which is the title that he really wanted, now he can go for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship, which still is the main title here at Rocky Mountain Pro. And so Damon Ace now being in this tournament, that puts something different that I don't think the other competitors were maybe prepared for. But there is the one caveat to that, and it's going to be, will Damon Ace be 100%, and will he have to look over his shoulder, because will Dustin Urich still be hunting him down? So there's a lot to go on there. So there's so many dynamics, Mr. Fourth Row. So many dynamics that we can get into. But what is probably one story going into this Aces Wild tournament that you're really looking to see how it plays out?
Well, I am, really curious because with the Damon Ace situation, because like you said, we do have Dustin Urich coming back. Will he be perched somewhere, watching down on Damon Ace? I mean, and does Damon Ace, after what specifically happened this past charge to him, where he was just about there, and boom, that music of Dustin Urich's, and here comes Dustin Urich, did what he did, so is he going to be heightened? Is Damon Ace going to be heightened on that? Plus, I think there's still some unfinished business with him and Sin Bodhi, and everything else with Damon Ace. He's got a lot of, I feel like sometimes might not realize it, but I think sometimes he might be getting circled in on by people, and he may need to be aware of that.
Well, and
go ahead.
And has he bitten off more than he can chew? Because you just mentioned Dustin Urich, and you mentioned Sid Bodie. Jason Knoll still has some beef with him. Obviously, how Jason Knoll was treated by Damon Ace. If all these guys decided that they wanted to get a piece of Damon Ace all at once, it could be a very long night. It could be a very long whole year for Damon Ace if they all decide that they wanted to get back for all the dastardly underhanded things. And don't forget even a lot of the competitors that are in this tournament have had a lot of issues with Damon Ace over the past. So let's not forget that Lobo Loco Balaam's past relationship with Damon Ace and what those two have been through. Remy D has also had some issues with Damon Ace. So there's a lot of things that could play for Damon Ace in this tournament.
Yeah. And one thing too, I wanted to, because this is the Aces Wild pay-per-view, there could be wild things happening in this Aces Wild tournament. Like I had mentioned, all former charged champions. We mentioned Sergey may be in this. What about this weird craziness? We haven't seen him for a little while, but we've seen him somewhat recently. Our champion, Curtis Cole, the Rocky Mountain Pro champion, is a former charged champion. Could he insert himself and just cause utter chaos that he likes to do?
That's something that I didn't really think of, but it would be something that I could see Curtis Cole playing a card like that. I could see him doing something like that to, it would almost eliminate him having any competition if he was somehow able to win this tournament, get himself in this tournament. I suppose that he would be eligible. Whether or not Mercury Yaden makes that call, let's not forget, Curtis Cole has decided to rehash some of his beef with Mercury Yaden over the past couple weeks, and they've had their issues. So Mercury Yaden's not going to do Curtis Cole any favors, I wouldn't think. So, but you don't know what's on the head of Mercury Yaden. He may be trying to punish Curtis Cole, maybe put him in the tournament, say first round against a Damon Ace. Who knows what's in the head of Yaden, what he would have in store. And this is just all speculation. We don't know that Curtis Cole is going to be a part of this tournament, but it's very possible that he could be. You got to think somehow, some way he's going to inject himself at this pay-per-view, at this premium live event. Curtis Cole is not one just to keep quiet and keep a low profile. He's always got to make everything about him. So you got to think somehow he will make an appearance at Aces Wild.
Yeah, and and if the listeners are thinking, why would Curtis do that? Well, Curtis has it. If you think about it logically, the payoff. If I win this thing, well, that means I have to, quote unquote, challenge myself, which technically mean then I get a pay-per-view off, not having to defend it, right?
Yeah,
so, that would be the logic thing he would, probably go to Mercury Yaden about, but we'll see what happens.
Right, that would be something that I could definitely see Curtis Cole doing. That would be almost a textbook Curtis Cole move. And like I said, it would be completely up to Mercury Yaden and how he sees this situation. Like I said, he's not going to be wanting to do Curtis Cole any favors. He despises Curtis Cole probably even more than I do. And so good luck with Curtis Cole getting any favors. But we don't know how he's going to view this situation. And this is going to be a very interesting tournament. Like we said, so many variables are going to be going into this tournament. All former charged champions, a lot of friends, a lot of foes. It is going to live up to its name. It's going to be wild.
True, very true. And then, of course, we should mention that this is this always has repercussions from pay-per-view to pay-per-view with the supercharges in between. It's nothing. It's not an event to miss. So we definitely should remind the listeners that if you're in the area, even if you are it's a Friday night. If Friday night's all right for fighting.
That's right.
So
yeah.
If
Elton John says it is, so it's so.
Yeah, make it so. If EJ says it, let's declare it, So, if I implore you guys, if you guys are in the area, we did mention that this thing is, we have a lot of, we're going to be honest with you, we have a lot of tickets sold for this thing. So we did say that if you do go online, it doesn't say anything's available, just head on to the Wimmer. We'll take care of you. If you unfortunately can't make it, do watch online on our YouTube channel. The pay-per-views are only available on the YouTube channel. Is that correct?
That's correct. You must be a pay-per-view membership subscriber, $9.99, but you get a full month membership. So you can subscribe, and you will not only get Aces Wild, but you can go back and watch any of the archived pay-per-views that are in our library on YouTube. So there's a bunch of stuff available to watch. So it's a good value. $9.99 to get a premium live event, especially one the caliber of Aces Wild. That's a steal. So you do not want to miss that.
You could go back if at the time you hear this, you could get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain Pro YouTube channel and binge watch all of the Aces Wilds before the show tomorrow. I think you have enough time if you don't have to work or just call in sick.
Yeah, call in sick. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and you would be all caught up with all the Aces Wild that have taken place, and be ready for the next one for tomorrow's pay-per-view for Aces Wild.
Yeah, it's really a can't miss event, guys. This is like I said, it's the first big show of 2024. A lot of the things that are going to go down at Aces Wild are going to have huge implications for the rest of the year, and especially leading up to our biggest event in June, Milestone. So it's going to be. I guarantee that there's going to be a couple of OMG moments. I guarantee that there's going to be some things going down that you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. So you want to be there or watch it live, but one way or the other. And we are going to have a free pre-show. Right. That you can watch if you're not able to make it down. We will start that at 6:00 Mountain Time, an hour before the main show. You can watch that free on our YouTube channel. Get a little taste of what's going on. I can tell you that the tag team champions are going to be wrestling in singles matches on the pay-per-view. So that's all right. You get to see both Bruce Waynes and Atiba on the pre-show. So that's going to be well worth just watching the pre-show for. I will be joined on commentary by one of our good friends on the Dudes and Belts chatcast. Coastal Crusader will be joining me on the pre-show. And then I will be doing commentary for the main show as well with our newest commentary partner, one Tony Nomad. So make sure you guys can hop on chat. Yeah, give us super chats. We'll chat with you during the pre-show, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, Lucas, you keep calling it the pre-show. Isn't it actually technically going to be Ignition now? Has it not been decided yet?
We haven't decided on that. Right now, I think we're still kind of got Ignition on the back burner right now. So
I thought there was a little bit of talk that maybe Ignition might be the quote unquote pre-show.
Right. Yeah, that hasn't been. Yeah, that was going to be. We were going to do that for Charged, but we've made some tweaks to that. So yeah. So for right now, Ignition is just taking a hiatus. Keep on on everything up to date with. There's a lot of huge things that are going to be happening over the next several months, guys. A lot of big changes, so you'll want to kind of keep up on everything. You can go to our website rmpwrestling.com for all the latest news, and of course follow us on all the social media. At RMP Wrestling, Facebook, Instagram, X, all that stuff. But yeah, you're gonna want to keep dialed in because we got some huge announcements coming up.
Yeah, but I want to do my due diligence. If you guys are missing Ignition, I still have only two left of the Ignition fanny pack title belt fanny packs. So get those. They're only $20. And we have charged ones still available too. Pair them up, $40 together. You and your partner.
You would be the fanny pack king and queen if you guys wore a Charged and Ignition fanny pack. You'd be the jealousy of everyone, especially one Dak Draper.
Yeah, and you could, the two will interconnect together, so you can even wear it as a bandolier if you want. I'm just giving you some ideas.
There you go. Way to upsell there.
Yeah, I have to do my due diligence. Choppa City says ABC, always be chopping. ABS, always be selling.
That's right.
Lucas, thanks. I think that might be a great place to wrap this up. Once again, of course, thanks for coming on RMP Radio and help previewing these pay-per-views when they come up. Before I do let you go, remind the people where to find you out on the social media to keep up with everything that you've got going on.
Yeah, follow me on X at RMP Encyclopedia. You can also follow me on Facebook, just at Lucas Bradwell. And, of course, you can watch me and the Dudes and Belts each and every Saturday morning with Recharge. This Saturday, we'll actually be doing an Aces Wild review show Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Mountain Time on our Twitch channel at Rocky Mountain Pro. And then we do the Rocky Mountain Pro Rewind, where we go back and watch old footage. We're almost to milestone 4. So if you guys haven't been watching Rewind, get on, because we're going to be doing pretty soon, next week or so, milestone 4. And we do that 6 o'clock Mountain Time on Sunday nights. Or actually, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, Sunday nights on our Twitch channel at Rocky Mountain Pro. So those are all the places you can watch me. And, of course, I am the voice of Charged each and every Tuesday. You can follow us on all the platforms that we do Charge on: Kick, Rumble, Twitch, X, YouTube. Chat with us. And we know we take your super chats and bits, so a lot of ways you can reach out to me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, once again, Lucas, thanks for coming on, and I will be seeing you at Aces Wild.
Looking forward to it.
Once again, a big, huge thank you to Lucas Bradwell for coming on to this edition of RMP Radio and helping previewing the upcoming Rocky Mountain Pro Aces Wild, our first pay-per-view of the year. I hope you guys are all excited. We at RMP are also very excited to present our very first pay-per-view of the year. All right, let's once again remind you, tickets. Want to get tickets? RMPWrestling.com. Click on that events link. You can get tickets right there. If it does say that the tickets are sold out, we will make room for you. Just head on down to the Wimmer Arena and we will get you a seat. If you are unable to attend in person due to distance or whatever other reasons, head over to youtube.com/Rocky Mountain Pro. You can get a YouTube membership there. It's only $9.99 a month. You get to watch the pay-per-view as it happens. It's the only way to watch the pay-per-view. And then, of course, you get those bonuses of watching all the content that is on the channel. Like we mentioned, maybe the Aces Wild, you maybe want to brush up on those and watch those to get you excited for this year's. And then we would greatly appreciate all the support that you can get. Before we get out of here, let's pay some bills like we used to say back in the day. Want to get some merchandise of your favorite Rocky Mountain Pro superstars? There's a few different ways you can do it. Follow your favorite Rocky Mountain Pro superstars out on the social medias. Also follow me. I post everything that comes across my thing. We are working on getting this stuff up on the website. We're redoing it. Want to make sure it has a good foundation. A lot of things we want to do with it. Some fancy things, and I hope it'll be a great experience for the people that do it. We can ship to you as well as do delivery if you just can't make it a certain night when we have a show. All things you can do. You just need to hit up me on all the social medias. I'm on the Facebook, the X, the Instagram, all those places. You can hit me up and I can take care of any of your merch purchasing needs. Remind you to, of course, follow us out there on the social media. Everything is rmpwrestling.com on the Facebook, the X, the Instagram. Like Lucas said, of course, follow us on all the video channels as well. YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Kick. Also, you can watch the Charged episodes on X as well. When those happen, we would greatly appreciate you if you can watch those as they happen or rewatch the replays. That would be greatly helpful and appreciated. We would love you guys to do that. And then, of course, all the upcoming events that we've got coming up are on the website at rmpwrestling.com. That's where everything does stem from. We'll have some exciting news, things in the works for our upcoming schedule for 2024. I hope to have Yaden on to announce those and go over the schedule there with with you guys, the listeners, in the near future. Just really busy right now with, of course, the Aces Wild pay-per-view and everything else that's going on. But let me tell you guys, from looking at from behind the scenes, a lot of things are going to be happening, and I hope you guys are going to be excited. I think you guys will be excited for this. All right, well, thank you for listening to this edition of RMP Radio, where pro wrestling is elevated.